Hey everybody, before you continue watching the video, make sure you give the channel a like and subscribe. Go and follow us on Instagram. Go and check out all the different social media scenarios. Make sure if you're enjoying the content, go there, like, subscribe, follow, so we can keep putting stuff out. If you've got any questions, leave a comment. All right, make a comment on either of our pages and we'll answer them as soon as we can. A lot of people talk about this, particularly like high-level athletes like Charles Sun and stuff like that. The easiest pathway is to accept failure, man. It's the most readily available way of moving. Oh, I'm too tired, I'm just going to stay in bed. Man. Oh, you know, I'm going to get second place.
Yeah, the mind is always playing with you.
Man, the mind is always pushing you to the safest option, which a lot of the time for most things is, man, failure. You're going to fail. The comfort, the failure. And the thing is it's not that it's wrong. It's not that it's wrong because, yeah, like if you step on that ledge and you're on the edge of a building, yeah, you might fall off and die. It's there for a reason. But in a lot of situations like, you know, jiu-jitsu, like blah, 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 and most of us live in very, very comfortable lives now. We don't have real threat or real stress. We don't have real uncomfort. You now have to create your own discomfort. All right, and all these little things are going to cause a completely different amount of discomfort in your body because we're just not exposed to anything that causes that anymore. Yeah. And you have to really fight that urge not to just accept the failure or accept the comfort, because if you do, man, you end up, you know, in a pretty boring, bland place that doesn't really provide a lot, or it's not really a fulfilling kind of way to live. You know what I mean? So
totally. A lot of, particularly, I actually used to perform solo, doing electronic music, like not DJing, but like beats, and like I had synthesizers and like drum machine, you know, like pads and stuff like that. And like I was like a tour, as a support for a bunch of like national, like international guys coming, like do like an East Coast tour and stuff. And all the concerts and gigs that meant something to me, I remember beforehand you go, why am I doing this to myself? This is so, I feel so uncomfortable and so terrified. And like, why did I choose to make myself feel this way? And then like the gig goes really well. And then you go, what was I worried about? That was the best feeling in the world.
The feeling afterwards is just rewarding, isn't it?
Yeah, and that adrenaline dump. And I'm sure you guys could, I'm sure you've had times when you're competing and like, I'm choosing to be here. Like this is intense. Like this was my choice.
I think one thing that was really I was a soccer player my entire life when I was in Brazil, and one thing that was really different after I got to jiu-jitsu, and I went in my first competition was like, because soccer is a team. If you're not very good on that day, the team might, you know, play better for you. So you on the field, but you don't necessarily need to be the best player.
Right, they can carry you if you're having a bad day.
So I think that the rugby can be the same thing.
Yeah. Any team sports like that.
And playing music, I think, is the same. Some days you might not be the best, but you have someone to support you. You know?
Sure.
And jiu-jitsu is different. If you're not good, then you're gonna get smashed. You know. It's it's totally different.
Yeah, there's nowhere to hide in any like individual pursuit, whether it's tennis, whether it's weightlifting, whether it's dance, performance, anything you do solo, you cannot place ownership on anybody else. You have to accept full accountability for everything that happens.
And like the failure you take on, but you also take on the success. Like I did that. Yeah. And it's massive highs and massive lows with all that kind of thing.
I think that's why people do crazy stuff like fight MMA or Muay Thai or whatever. Like the stress and the discomfort and the training and everything all accumulates to like one event, right? And the release of like all of those hard years or hard months or hard weeks of training all comes into this one moment. And the lows are massive The lows are so low, but the highs are so high, and that's the addiction, that's the adrenaline, that's the enjoyment, that's this thing that keeps you alive. And some people do it jumping out of aeroplanes, and some people do it, you know, picking up chicks, and some people do it opening new businesses, and and some people do it gambling. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's just it's the experience of emotion and you know, life, ups and downs. Ups and downs are life. That's what makes the things that taste so good, because you've experienced the things that taste bad. You've eaten 2-minute noodles with some tuna, and now you can go and eat a Wagyu steak at a nice Japanese restaurant or whatever. There has to be bad things, right, for good things to exist, and for them to feel the way they feel. Otherwise, everything will be the same. There's no reason for anything. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So I'm very thankful for, I don't know, learning those kind of values through certain things I've done in my life, and realizing that, because you worry about certain young kids you meet who are like, they just want the good thing now without putting the work in. And I am sounding my age now, that I am slightly older than you know, some people I train with or I meet, and I'm realizing I am a different generation now, slightly.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe, and a follow. Check out all our different social media platforms. There's heaps of content coming out. There's different snippets and content on different platforms. So make sure you're on everything. And again, if it helped you out, recommend to somebody else, and hopefully it'll help them out too.